friends, how are you guys doing today? I am going to share a book that is by one of my favorite authors, but it's brand new to me. I read this book in my classroom earlier this year. It's a library book that we got out of our school's library, and I thought since Miss Fernandez had recorded a storytelling video about Goldilocks and the Three Bears that we might enjoy reading this book too. So this book is called The Mermaid, and it's written and illustrated by Jan Brett. She's also written things like The Mitten and The Umbrella, The Trouble with Trolls. She's written tons of different books, and I love how she illustrates them. The way she draws her pictures is just gorgeous. So I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about this book before we start reading, but I'm going to tell you that if you pay close attention, you might think that you've heard this story before. So let's find out what happens in The Mermaid. Here's the title page. It says The Mermaid, and it has, again, Jan Brett. She is the author and the illustrator. Under the sea, an octopus family got ready for a swim before breakfast. "Time to put on your new hat, baby," said Oksan. Baby did not like the floppy new hat. The hat was not happy either. If you look very closely, you will notice that the baby is wearing a stingray for a hat. As the octopus family set off behind their house, a little mermaid spotted their front door. Kinero had been drifting in a warm current with her pufferfish friend. "Take care," warned Puffy. "You'll never know who may live there." "But I'm so curious," she said, and she sashayed toward the seashell home. Oh, what a beautiful house. It's all made of seashells under the ocean. Inside, breakfast had been set out. There was a great big shell, a middle-sized shell, and a little shell. Kinero took a bite from the great big shell. "Too crunchy," she said. The little mermaid tried the tender bits in the middle-sized shell. "Too slimy." Puffy could guess what was coming next. Kinero sidled up next to the little shell. In a minute, the tempting tidbit had disappeared. "Just right," she said. "All gone," said Puffy as he wondered whose breakfasts those really were. I wanted to point out one of my favorite things that Jan Brett does as an illustrator. So if you look at her illustrations, we have this big main picture here. And we have a picture, we see Puffy and we see the mermaid. But then on the sides, you see these smaller pictures. And if you look closely, you'll notice that right now it has the octopus family in it. And Octopus Mama has the hat that the baby octopus was wearing earlier. Keep your eye on the outside pictures. They might give you some clues as to what is happening elsewhere in our story. Kinero floated around the seashell house and saw 3 chairs. There was a big chair, a middle-sized chair, and a little chair. Does anybody know what book this sounds like yet? I'm going to keep reading. She sat down in the large coral chair. "Too many bumps," she said as she smoothed out her scales. Kinero wriggled into the middle-sized chair. Down she went. "This chair is too slippery," she gasped. The little chair was the prettiest of them all, and Kinero sat on it. "Just right," she said, and she gave her fins a little flipperty-flip. but all that wiggling broke the chair to pieces. Oh no. She's in someone else's house, she's eaten someone else's breakfast, and now she's breaking their things. Oh, she's not very responsible. Kinera was sorry about the pretty chair, but not for long, because in the next room, she had spotted 3 beds. She and Puffy had been swimming for hours, and they were ready for a nap. She swam over and settled in. "What sweet dreams we'll have," she told her friend. But someone had been eating in the biggest bed, and there were smashed shells and crab claws all around. "This bed is too messy," she said. So she flopped down into the middle-sized bed. "Oh, this bed is too squishy," she complained. As Kinera patted the tiara on her head, she spied the last bed, the smallest bed. It rocked like a cradle in the tide. She set her head down on a pillow and fell sound asleep. Soon, the octopus family returned over the sandy shoals. Right away, Otsan saw his breakfast shell had been overturned. "Someone has been crunching on my crustaceans." Crustaceans is another way to say sea creatures that have shells. So like lobsters and crabs, those are crustaceans. He was turning rather pink. Oksan huffed. "My breakfast has been splashed too!" She turned pinkish brown as well. And Baby looked for her breakfast, but all she saw was the upside down shell. "Someone has been eating my breakfast and there's nothing left for me," she cried. And then notice what's happening in the little pictures on the outside. There's Kinera. She's napping. Puffer, though, he's starting to wake up. So remember, she's asleep in their bedroom. I wonder what's going to happen. Otsan saw that his coral chair looked different. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," he announced, now even redder. Oksan went from pink to red when she saw her chair. "Who has been squashing my chair and scattering my teacups?" she asked. And then Baby saw her beautiful chair in pieces. The hermit crabs were already taking it. "My chair is going, gone," she cried. Notice that the octopuses are changing color. Why do you think they're changing color? What's happening to them? You're right. They're feeling angry or frustrated. They're upset. And just like sometimes when I get angry, my face turns really red, their whole bodies are turning red. Let's find out what happened. Seeing something was amiss. Amiss means wrong or changed. Otsan squeezed into the bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed." He blasted ocean water and kicked up the sand. Puffy felt the ripples as Oksan jetted toward her bed. The soft seaweed she liked to doze in was tangled and torn. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," she said. Baby octopus peeked inside her tiny bed and saw a beautiful mermaid. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed, and here she is," cried the baby. The little mermaid opened her eyes. The adorable baby's eyes were soft and sweet. Her skin was a soft shell pink, and her graceful arms danced. But she was wearing the oddest hat that the mermaid had ever seen. Kinera, who didn't like to see anyone unhappy, gasped, "That will not do!" And she thought about the tiara that she was wearing on her head, and she had an idea. Remember, the baby does not like the hat that she is wearing. Sounds like the little mermaid doesn't like the hat either. Notice in the side pictures how Mom and Dad Octopus are furious. The baby is angry, but not quite as mad. She's just a little bit pink. Just then, all 3 octopuses reached for Kinero with their 24 arms because they each had 8. So 8 arms and 3 octopuses, that's 24 arms. Puffy was ready though. He puffed with all his might. Puffa, puffa, pokety poke, stickety stick. His sharp prickles did not let the octopuses near the mermaid. Kinero had just enough time to leave her gift before she darted away. What do you think she left as a gift? Who did she leave the gift for? Oh, let's find out. Kinero, Puffy, and their new friend Eagle Ray swam away from the seashell house. They couldn't stop smiling about baby octopus's crowning gift. Ooh, where did they get this new friend, this Eagle Ray? And there's something missing on the mermaid's head. I wonder what it was that she left. The baby looked radiant in her wonderful new tiara. And that is the end. So what was the gift that the Little Mermaid gave to the octopus? You're right, it was her tiara. So if you notice in this picture, when Puffy is saving the Little Mermaid Kinero from the octopuses, she's wearing her tiara. But in the next picture, her tiara is missing and she has the Eagle Ray, which was the little octopus's, the baby octopus's hat. So she took the ray with her and left the tiara. Now, I'm wondering if anyone has any idea what story this book is based off of. I heard some of you say it. It's based off of Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. So just like Goldilocks, she comes across a random house that she's never been in before. And there are 3 creatures that live in that house. A mama, a papa, and a baby. There is the big dad, the middle mom, and the little baby. And just like in Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, she tries their food, she tries their chairs, and she sleeps in their beds. And just like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, they catch her in their beds. This story is a little bit different because she leaves a gift for the octopuses, for the little one, and it's set in a different place. So remember we talked about the setting is where the story takes place. And this one is not in the woods, but it's under the sea. I hope you guys enjoyed this story as much as I did. I love Jan Brett. I hope to read another story by her soon. And I hope you guys enjoy imagining some of your favorite stories in new settings or with new characters, just like this one. Have a wonderful day. Bye, friends.